Hi guys, it's Rat and Puff. You know us. Your morning show on Amp Radio. We had heavy hearts today when we came into work today, and we kind of didn't want to do the usual Rat and Puff show. There was nothing funny, nothing we could laugh about.
I don't know, like, how other shows, how other TV stations could honestly go on the radio today and do anything lighthearted. I don't know. It's not in me at all.
Well, we talked about...
It wasn't in me at all.
Yeah, we talked about Orlando and how it hit so close to home because we said that we had lived in Tampa, Florida for 8.5 years. And Tampa is, 45 minutes to an hour, just right up I-4, right to Orlando. And then I've been to Pulse Nightclub, and I've been to that club there, and I know the layout of it. I can see it. I can just visualize being in there in my head, not obviously the other night, but all together. And now we're kind of starting to see with mutual friends of people that we had in Tampa and Orlando, we're starting to see names of, people that passed away, and we're finding out so much more. And we talked to Chad and Jill, who do the morning show at Amp Radio in Orlando, and they said even this morning they were still taking people out of the club, and their phones were going off that were in their pockets because their family members were trying to reach them, right?
I mean, I couldn't ever imagine a million years, like, being in that situation.
Or just being a mother. I mean, we played audio of a mother who just still had heard nothing this morning. And that's the scariest thing. Because you pray for the best, but you know that if you're not hearing anything, if there's no response, you just got to brace for the worst possible situation to happen. And that's what's happening for a lot of people.
I don't know how to feel about, there's a guy we work with named Robbie. He posted a status where I'm like, man, that makes sense. He said that if in a post about the Orlando tragedy you use the words liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, or gun control, plain and simple, you suck. Don't even try to act like you're sympathetic. You've turned a tragedy into a way to push your agenda. Newsflash, you're not a politician. And, like, I'm in my head like, man, is that what this is turning into right now? Like, is that where we're at? Like, I understand...
For political gain?
But I understand, like, because of a tragedy, because of any tragedy, you instantly have to lean in that direction. But I kind of agree the fact that, like, now this is all I'm seeing on Facebook as the morning goes on. And it's like...
Yeah, and we had a lot of people that were texting us in today.
Let's take a second and let's just stop and realize that 50-plus human beings are no longer here.
And injured. And we don't know how the injuries that could rise.
And 50-plus injured are sitting in hospitals. And we're sitting here talking about, oh, gun control this, and, this person running for president says this, or this person tweets this that's running for president. And I'm like, when do we just stop and go, hold on, in the moment, this just happened in our country. When do we, like, take a second and go, we have to realize, like, this is the world we live in. Like, this could happen, like, especially in Detroit, where we have on file, like, the most active for any kind of terroristic groups. Like, that's scary to think.
Yeah, and it's scary that the FBI...
That's scary, man. The FBI, on the FBI list.
And scary the FBI spoke...
That's scary.
Spoke to this guy on several occasions, and they were fearful of what he could do. His father said that he had saw him a couple hours before the tragedy happened, and before he went and did this horrific thing, and he seemed normal.
He sees two guys kiss
in Miami.
And he goes crazy.
And he goes crazy over it. But his ex-wife did say that he was abusive and bipolar, and she just had to get out of it.
So the FBI interviews him because people he worked with thought it was necessary to go to the FBI at that level. And then they interview him, but then his ex-wife goes, he's this, 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 and this. Like, at what point do we actually stop and go, okay, you might not have committed a crime, but you are definitely on, some sort of... Kick him out, man.
And being at the Pride Parade yesterday, at the Motor City Pride Parade, I mean, we were looking over our shoulders, and we were concerned. I think everybody was. It was a very tense situation out there when it was supposed to be a day to celebrate equality, right?
It's sickening.
Yeah. It's a sad situation that we can't even... We have to worry about going to a movie. We have to worry about if we want to go out to a club.
I have to worry about saying some of the things I say on the radio or on Facebook Live because... Somebody could be watching or listening and go, I don't like that this guy's saying this kind of stuff. I mean, that's the world we live in. But I will always stand up for what I believe in. I'll never be fake. I'm not some. I don't say things to get people's acceptance, or I don't say things
just because.
Just because, like we know a lot of shows do,
Yeah.
which is really hard to believe nowadays. But you know, it's weird. It was weird today for our first time in our careers to like come into a studio with this kind of situation, because it was the biggest massacre on U.S. soil.
Yeah.
And like that,
it was hard to do a show, and you didn't. You know, what were we going to talk about? The Tony Awards, Chris Brown.
we had a whole show lined up, like we always do.
Yeah.
And how do you go into a show and go, this is what we're going to do. We're going to laugh and giggle. We're going to play games. No, we're not.
Jim on Facebook Live asks, do you believe we should have stricter gun laws so that proper background checks are taken care of?
I can definitely speak, Jim, and say myself and our producer who just read it, Sidney Leon Jones, we have our right to carry. We have our gun permits. But I am sound in my mind. I'm not going out and buying assault rifles. I don't need an assault rifle. I don't need any of that. I think we need to do a better job like that gun that the guy used
rifle?
was also used in the
Sandy Hook,
the movie theater.
movie theater shooting. Yeah, I mean,
Sandy Hook, like that's a gun you can legally purchase, which I don't believe you should. And I hold a permit. I think. In fact, I know. I think it's because sometimes because of our age, like we're a little bit more in tuned with than older people that set laws. You can get guns no matter what. You can say no more drugs, you can still get drugs. You can say no more alcohol, someone's going to make moonshine in a bathtub. You can say no more guns. I guarantee you can still buy weapons. Like that's never going to change. What's got to change is what's being sold, how we're selling it. Sid, as you're holding the phone, you could probably agree, we went through classes, we went through training. Like,
yeah.
We went through an extreme background check. And I take it seriously. Like, I know how to hold a weapon and operate a weapon. When I drink alcohol, I drink responsibly. Mm. I think it's individuals. There's a lot of sick individuals. And the one thing that just keeps going, like, in my head, the one thing that just keeps popping up in my head is, like, we have, like, the FBI has their eyes on these people, right? So these guys go and get guns. Like, if your eyes are on these people and they're buying and registering these guns, which you have to do, where is that?
People were texting in this morning, hey, I'm Muslim. This does not represent our religion.
No, well, I've got a lot of friends that are too. No,
so
no, I don't believe that. I think instantly there's a lot of people that instantly go this, or this.
Yeah.
And I don't think. There's bad eggs out there, man. There's bad eggs everywhere. There's bad eggs, and walk through any store. You probably have a friend that's a bad egg or a family member. I mean, they're just out there. It's up to the good eggs to recognize. And this guy's coworker saw that and went to the FBI. By the way, went to the FBI.
Yeah. And we were able to talk to our sister station, Amp Radio, down in Orlando, to kind of get an inside pulse. They're doing a big blood drive down there, and they're collecting money because they do not want the victims of this tragedy to have to pay for their funerals. That should probably be the last thing worrying about how to finance it.
That's just sick.
I think they said they're already up over $1 million. The goal is $2 million. So we'll post that link up on our page, 987ampradio.com, the Rat and Puff page, if you want to go check that out there and help out and donate.
I don't know about anybody that's watching this. I can't tell anybody how to feel. You feel how you want to feel, but I am a proud American. I say it on the radio because I believe it. I live my life that way. I think that there's a timeless effect that like a lot of Americans don't share anymore with that, like from when my parents grew up. I think that we need more of that. So I would just like to say that you got a couple of proud Americans here that were really saddened today, coming into work, like real sad, like genuinely sad. Not an act, not us going on the air trying to portray something we're not. And just everybody that's watching, just people that pop into your head, go through your phone, text messages, maybe you haven't texted someone in a while, just stop and just tell people you're thinking about them and you love them, because you don't want your last, you don't want any of that stuff happening. And then
No.
You don't want that text situation that happened with that mother.
Absolutely.
make a phone call.
Yep.
Call your mom and dad. Call your kids. Call your girlfriend or boyfriend. Text them randomly right now if you're watching this, and just say I love you or I'm thinking about you.
And just follow the Facebook, because every day after the show, you'll be able to see us here on Facebook Live, okay?
Sad news, though.
Yep. Thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in Orlando, our former hometown area from down there. We're thinking about you.
We are.